What is up, guys? Welcome to Diving Garage. In today's video, we're continuing on our $500 budget build challenge, and I'm going to be showing you how to install a camshaft, whether it's a small block, big block, LS, kind of the same process for everything. So let's dive in. I'll take a quick look at our engine here, and yes, it is in the Chevy orange. I put up a poll not too long ago, and you guys voted that this thing should go Chevy orange, so here it is. And I'll be honest with you, it looks pretty stinking good. I really like the way the paint job came out. Give it a nice prime, give it a nice coat of color, and man, I'm pretty happy with it. And this here is the camshaft we're going to be using. It's from Comp. It's a good camshaft. I used it before. Remember, this is a budget build challenge, so I can use any parts I have available for free, and anything we have to buy goes on the $500 tab. So what I'm first going to do is show you how to install it, and then I'll come back and we'll go over specs and a little bit of plan for the actual build. All right, so please excuse my messy garage. Whenever Hank's in here, this flatbed turns into a workbench real fast, every single time. So there are two main ways you want to install your camshaft. I'm going to show you and talk about both and why you would want to choose one over the other. The first way would be to leave the engine just like it is, like this. Take the camshaft and then put it in through the front. The second way is to flip the engine upside down and obviously still put the camshaft in through the front, but then you can support the camshaft as it's going through the engine. Honestly, you're going to hear people talk smack about both ways, and I'll be here to tell you it kind of doesn't matter, guys. If you want to do it this way with some bolts or some sort of handle, that's fine. If you want to flip it over and support it, that's fine too. People get so hung up on nicking the cam bearings, messing up the cam, and they act like just touching it to another piece of metal is going to trash it. That's not the case. The bearings are not that soft, and the metals are nice and tough. So if you do it one way and you accidentally put a little bit too much forward pressure and it goes click and it hits the next bearing or surface in front of it, it's gonna be okay. You didn't trash the cam, you didn't trash your bearings. So let's kind of get that out of the way in the beginning, and I'll show you the first way, which is leaving the engine just like this. All right, and since we're doing a flat type of cam, you want to make sure you use a lot of good assembly lube. I've used this one before, this red line assembly lube, pretty good. But in today's video, we're going to be using this for a specific reason of that this is what you can find at your local auto parts store without having to order anything. If you're in a pinch, they may just have this in stock. And then in the front of the cam, you're going to put these long bolts into the threaded sections. I'm fairly certain these are 5/16, and then you get them threaded in there and you tighten down these nuts. So that way you got all three of them, and you got a nice handle on the front. They sell a official tool that goes into the front here that attaches, and it's a handle, but guys, this cost me like, I don't know, $2, and that tool is like $20 by itself, so I think it'll be okay. But for a flat type of cam, which is what we have here, you're going to want to lube the entire thing, all the way from this first journal all the way to the last one, or vice versa, first to last. Because on a flat type of cam, you need that. On a roller cam, all you have to do is lubricate the journals, each one of these individually, and you're good to go. You really don't need to lubricate these. All right, so for this first one, I got the bolts in the cam there, so you got your nice handle. For this first one, you're going to want to make sure you lube up your bearing here. Get some lube on there, and I'll spread it around in just a second. And like I said before, you want to get some lube all over the cam. Since I'm just showing you this method here, I'm going to be flipping it over and doing the other method. I'll just leave it at that for now. So make sure you get your bearing nice and lubricated. Don't be shy. It needs as much as you can give it on both sides here. Sorry, those might have been off camera. There you go. And then you grab your handle, just like this. And what you're going to want to do is give it some, put it in there and then give it some downward pressure on the back, which will bring the front up. And that'll help you kind of guide it along as you're putting it in through the engine. So it goes starts right here. Give a nice little spin, a little bit of forward pressure. There we go. See how it just kind of went? And that's how it should do every single time. You go to the next one, find it, and then you kind of just work it in there. Right there, just like that. So remember, it should go. It should want to go forward and seat on every single bearing. If you're fighting it and if you're forcing it, something is wrong. You need to stop. All right, cool. Now let's flip it over and we'll do the other method. All right, we got the engine upside down, and I will say the one advantage to doing it this method is now you can get your lube and you can get it in there on each one of the bearings. And don't be shy with this stuff. It's not going to hurt anything. It's okay if it spills over and makes a little bit of a mess. This stuff will evaporate, or not evaporate, dissolve. Once the engine is running, it's nice and hot. So don't be shy. It's okay. Okay, so we've already lubricated our very first journal, and we're going to just kind of get that one in place. And what I like to do now is, oh, that's over here. What I like to do now is grab your lube and go to town. Like I said, do not be shy. These flat tappet cams need every bit of help that they can get. I just do it one section at a time. That's just what I do. It's not really mandatory. There's no really way to do it. I just do it one section at a time. So that way I know I got everything. All right, now that we got all lubed up, we're just gonna grab here and we're gonna kind of give this some downward motion so that way the front comes up. And we're just gonna help guide it along like this to get it to the first one. And then we're onto the other side. Cool, so you can see now I'm able to kind of come in here and guide it to the next journal, the next bearing. And it's pretty nice. It's not bad at all. Kind of do the same thing to the next one. A little spin and push, that's all you need to do. I'm really giving it like no pressure at all. Like very, very minimal pressure. All right, and then the last one, you're not really able to get in there too well, but you can support it just a bit. Again, I'm doing the downward pressure on those bolts. So that way, it'll give the end an upward motion. You can kind of use your fingers. There it is. It's in there, you can kind of see it going now. I always like to give it a good spin to make sure that assembly lube gets everywhere it needs to be. That easy, guys. There's nothing to be worried about, nothing to be scared about. Everything will be just fine if you follow those simple steps. And if you want, the next thing you can do now is to get the gear from the timing set and throw that on there, get that bolted down, so you got one less thing to worry about. And that really should be your first step when installing an engine. Cam first. If you want, you have the option to support it from the bottom this way. Again, you can do whichever way you want. It's kind of the same. Now let's go talk about the cam specs for this one. So obviously this cam is from Comp, and this is a known good cam, and the specs are, as you can see on the screen, if it'll focus, it's at 212, 218 at 50, and that's what I like to go by, not the advertised duration, because you never really know what you're getting there. But 212, 218 at 50, 110 load separation, 447 lift on the intake, 454 on the exhaust. And if you're new to camshafts and you don't know what specs mean and what you're talking about, just remember some of the basics. If you're looking at this cam, you see it has a little bit more duration on the exhaust side, and that's what you want. So that way you can evacuate the cylinder of all the burned and unburned gases efficiently. There's nothing wrong with a square cam. Like, for example, if this was a 212, 212, that would be okay. But what's a little bit better is when it's offset by 6 to 8 degrees. And for the amount of lift we're running here, it's really not a ton, so you don't have to worry about any clearance issues. 454, 447 lift, that's pretty conservative. And I know this cam, I know it runs well, and I know it sounds awesome. I don't know if, maybe you tell me what you think, but to me, I think flat tappet cams sound a little better. That's just me, that's my opinion, but let me know what you think. And I think this cam will be good for our budget built 283 here, because it's not crazy, it's not a lot of wild lift, it's really not a ton of duration. The heads don't flow same as like a 350 or like a 400 would. So you're a little bit limited there, but I think it's a good balance for this 283. It should be a fun little ripper. I'm pretty excited. A ton more content coming up on this build. I know next up we got to do freeze plugs, install the crank, install the timing set, get the heads built, installed. We got a ton left to do. I'm excited for it, and so I got a lot of content coming up. I'm not going to promise any like 2 videos a week or anything, but I'll tell you this: as soon as I can get them out, I'm going to put them up. What I've been doing lately is putting them up for members first, like a day or 2 in advance, and I'll still do that. But if I can put up 2 videos a week, I'm gonna try. That's my goal, but I don't know if I'm gonna hit it. We'll see. That is about it for today's video, guys. Get out there, work hard, keep building, and dive into your next project. Catch you next time.